Hello, Sumit.
Yes, sir.
Sumit,
Yes, sir.
you are starting after the yes. I
Yes,
mean,
1 minute.
it's a wonderful lecture. All of uh, us must listen
Yes, sir. Yes.
attentively, and we should draw something out of this lecture. All of us.
Definitely, sir.
You could ask him to begin.
Yeah, that's I must.
Can you hear me now, Sumit?
Yes, sir. Yes. So you can share the slides again, sir.
Okay, we'll come back after the ET break of
Yes.
2 minutes.
ET break.
All of you are there? All of you are there?
Yes, sir. The students are joining.
Google Meet, why you don't use Google Meet?
Sir,
Google
it's
Meet,
1
why you
hour
don't
actually.
use?
Yeah, Google Meet
Google Meet
for
is
1
1
hour,
hour, is
sir.
it?
Again, we need to rejoin. This Zoom meeting is for 40 minutes. So we can record this meeting. I'm recording this meeting. I will share you this,
Okay.
sir.
So that is the idea. The
Yeah,
recording
yes,
you
sir.
want to use.
Yes.
Google doesn't permit you to record.
Google doesn't allow recording.
Okay. Still people are joining.
Yes.
We'll wait for a minute.
Just try, sir, screen sharing. Is it working?
Yeah, good. Can you see now?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Tell me when I should start. Okay.
So we can continue,
Yes,
sir.
sir. You could begin
Students,
now.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Welcome back, and let me try and give you. Yeah, all of you kindly mute. Yeah. So let me give you, learning. Having said what learning is, what good learning is, and how do we really, learn through these Bloom taxonomy. Let me give you some strategy. You have to have a strategy while teaching. Today in engineering, all of you know, it is a problem-based teaching, project-based teaching, and the uh, therefore that is one important thing that you should keep in mind. The second important thing that you should have is hands-on learning. You must have learned so many things today, by experience. So that is third one. Experiential learning you should bring in. You are teaching same course for 3-4 times. Every time they should gain. And internship gain. The student who goes to industry will gain something and come back and share with you. You also can go industry, give some problem to them to go and solve. And now today is all about flipped classroom blended learning. First 2 months student may not be able to come to college. You have to do online. Next 2 months when they come, you have to go for offline. So this is called blended mode. That means flipped class means not 9 to 5:30. After 9 to 5 evening they can learn something. Saturday they can learn. So, all those things are called through MOOCs or Swayam, etc. They can learn. And there is a possibility of learning through co-curricular experience. Tech fest that you conduct, they know how to present paper, they know how to manage the whole show, MC they do, a lot of leadership quality they learn, communication skill they learn. And therefore, another learning method, very important, is active and cooperative learning. So what it means is the IIT Bombay follows this procedure. Think, pair, and share. What they do, third and fourth year student are in a class. If your student is a fast learner, slow learner, make them a group of 3-4. And when you give some assignment and all of them can sit together. A fast learner will teach the other man so that he will get also teaching ability. So that is why it is called pair, share, and think. All the 3 or 4 of them will pair them, will share their idea, will think. This is called peer instruction. Among the student, if a teacher tells, everything cannot be told in the class. So therefore, the student, its peer is also very, very important. Slide is not changing. So I promise that I will give an example so that all of you will be very clear what is the outcome, how do we write the outcome, and how do we attain. That is extremely important in the learning. So this is an example of a data structure of computer science, which you can do whatever the course that you do. A teacher has written 6 outcomes. First one is comprehend. Comprehend is understand. Second, Bloom level. So comprehend, understand the different operation of various data structure, arrays, and so on. The second COE is apply the linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Third one is analyze, the next level of Bloom taxonomy. Fourth one, conduct experiment to implement Q and all that. So therefore, you want to embed the theory and practical together. And interesting, very good teacher, CO5, make effective oral communication. You will give some seminar, ask them to present, quiz. So therefore, this is the beauty. You can see now the Bloom, different Bloom levels have been taken care of. First 5 graduate attributes and oral communication. You have seen one of the graduate attributes where during the course he is entering. So this is an intelligent teacher. So therefore, this is how a course outcomes are written. Okay, all of you are, I'm sure that Sumit, you must be doing submitted the SAR
Yes,
for
sir.
accreditation.
Yes, sir. We have submitted SAR. Yes,
Very
for
good.
NBA.
Wish you all the best. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. So now I'll come back to assessment. And then attainment I will show you. Assessment, wherever I go and ask people what is assessment and evaluation, they say same. No, they are not. Assessment is a measure of performance. So what do you mean by that? You have sessional and you have final. Sessional, you may have test, assignment, quiz. They are called assessment tools. And combine all these, that interpretation of all these things, let us say 50 marks, 15 is 15, 10, 10, add all of them, that becomes an evaluation. Then you grade them. Your first class, second class, or you get AA, AB, B grade, and so on. So therefore, for a teacher, assessment is very, very important. Without assessment, of course, students will not get driven. Therefore, students have to be enthused. So assessment tools to be told to the student before the start of the class. You should not tell at the end, this is where my exam is, this is where I do. So therefore, as a teacher, you should share that. Now, having said about assessment, quality of the assessment is important. What is quality? Validity and reliability. My assessment, even if I do 5 times, I must get the same marks. That is, one example is GRE. All of you know in the world, they are conducted many times across the world, and the GRE score is valid for 5 years. Why they are valid? Why so robust? I will tell you in the next slide. So before that, let me introduce validity. Validity is degree to which the assessment measures is it. I give to 2 valuers. You write a scheme. They should match. That's why in an exam, somebody giving 80, somebody giving 70, 60 is not a good evaluation. So therefore, there should be a good, validity is important. In assessment, basically there are 2 types. One is called formative, which you do in a continuous evaluation. First test, quiz, assignment, that is called formative. And the second one is called summative. Summative is what you conduct 3 hours at the end of the year. That is where you have to again validate and reliable. Validation is very easy in the final exam, 100 marks, 3 hours, right? In a test of 10 marks, you may not be able to do all that very accurately. So therefore, you have to bring in difficulty and complexity in this assessment, in the question paper setting. Now, having said the learner, a teacher will teach, teacher will assess. How do you assess? He has to prepare a question paper. So therefore, setting a question paper is very important for a teacher. You should not set a question paper where everyone answers everything. That's not a good question paper. You should not set a difficult question where everybody fails. That is not a good question. You must have a student who can score 40, 50 if they are an average student. Next level 60, 70, 80. So therefore, you need to bring in the complexity of the Bloom level. I give one example. Let us say Bihar. I want to put a question, not from engineering, general. What is the capital of Bihar? 1 mark. Everybody knows Patna, they write, get 1 out of 1. Now, as an intelligent teacher, you want to make it more complex. Same Bloom level, they should remember. What I do is, I will ask them, India has got a 30 state. What are the capital of 30 state? Bloom level is remembering only, but instead of remembering one capital earlier, now they have to remember 30 capitals. So this is how your questions in engineering also can be made more complex when you set a question paper. So that is the, and again, so therefore now you understand a course in the second semester, first semester will not have higher Bloom because they are all elementary. When you go to higher semester, seventh, eighth, elective subject, and there you design, analyze, create. So therefore, higher semester will have more weightage for the higher Bloom level and less for this. So this will be more clearer to you after 2-3 minutes when I take one example and illustrate. Before that, let me also introduce another concept in called question bank. Every year, every teacher spends a lot of time doing the same thing. So the good concept is to make a question bank. You keep on adding this, over 5 years, your question banks gets built up. Then it's easy for setting a question paper and spend less time. And also you improve the quality of the question paper. So therefore, quiz, assignment, test, exam, each teacher should make a question bank, and whole Bhagalpur College of Engineering should have some tools are available, software tools, so that a degree of the difficulty question paper can be put and board of examination can decide that quality. Now that you are doing final exam with the Aryabhatta Knowledge University, you are not doing, but one day after 5 years, your college will be made as autonomous, where you can also do everything on your own. That is the new education policy. So therefore, the question paper setting is important. And second, I told you that GRE exam, why the score is valid for 5 years. What is so? This year student, next year student, they're all in the same platform. That is because you asked to do multiple choice question A, B, C, D. Most of the teachers are saying A, B, C, D is none of the above because you want to save time. And also the problem with the MCQ is the good number of time, 25% of marks they score. No negative marking. But what they do in GRE is MSQ, multiple selection question. There is a question for which all the 4 answers are right. There is a question where 1 answer is right. There is a question no answer is right. There is a question 2 answers are wrong. This is the complexity they bring in the competitive exam. And they say if you write wrongly, I'll cut off your marks, negative mark. This is where we can make the highest quality. So today, all of you must be using either Google Classroom or Moodle or Turnitin, whatever the platform, you should try to, all of you should come to one platform so that it becomes, evaluation becomes easy. Finally, tabulation becomes easy, assessment becomes easy, your course assignment becomes easy. Each teacher using different platform may not be good. For student also is difficult, for you also difficult. I think at the universal level in the college, decide which one is best and get tried. That is what I just wanted to inform. Now I will give an example to illustrate how do we do this assessment and evaluation. Let us say you have 50 marks for the continuous evaluation, which is not so, maybe 20, but conduct. So what I do in the first column is 6 CO, CO1, CO2, CO3, CO4, CO5. This is a data structure, what I have told you 2 minutes ago. Now, what are my assessment tools? First row at the top, you can see Bloom level, test 1 for 15 marks, test 2 for another 15 marks, first quiz 1, 5 marks, quiz 2, 5 marks, and assignment, I will give 2, one assignment 5 marks, another assignment 5. If you add all of them, it comes to 50 marks. You can scale it for 20 if it is 20, 80 in your system. So now, how do I set the question paper? I start giving my class. So therefore, after some time, I will conduct my first test. My first test, I would have covered some topics and data structure where CO1, CO2, CO3 are covered. What is CO1? Understanding level. CO2? Understanding level. CO3? Application. So therefore, what I do is 15 marks, I divide them into 5 marks, 5 marks, and 5 marks. So there will be one question on CO1. My second question is on CO2 on the understanding level. And I give the third question on the application on CO3. So therefore, my question paper will have 3 questions in the test 1 to find out from my student whatever I taught up to that point about CO1, CO2, CO3. Okay. Later, I conduct my second test later after covering some more subject, as you know, after 3rd month or whatever the calendar. There, I will cover the question for another 15 marks. I divide them into CO4, CO5. I allot 7 marks for CO4. Again, in the 7 marks, what I do, 2 marks for understanding, another 5 marks for application. And on CO5, 8 marks I allocated, where 2 marks for understanding, 6 marks for application. So this is the beauty of covering. Now you are seeing in 2 tests, I have covered CO1 to CO5. Later, what I do while going on, in the beginning, after maybe 4 or 5 class, I will conduct one quiz. Quiz, it cannot be conducted in the higher Bloom level. Therefore, I do in the remembering. Therefore, on CO1 and CO2, I will conduct a quiz for 5 marks, 3 marks on CO1, 2 marks on CO2, and then find out whether they understand the concept. So another quiz I conduct later on CO5 and CO6 for 2 and 3 marks on remembering level. Quiz has to be in the first Bloom level. Now, while doing this course, I will give 2 assignments. One assignment somewhere in the middle, I will give 5 marks, where CO2, CO3, CO4, 1 mark, 3 mark, and 1 mark. Remember, understand, and remember. Now, the last assignment I will give later at the end before the final exam for 5 marks, where it is on CO6. By then, I would have covered all my syllabus. They know all the Bloom level. So therefore, apply. So now this is the pattern in which all the teacher in your course file should show when a committee comes. That means you know what you are teaching, how you are planning to teach, how you assess, how you do. Then the committee will accredit to your college. So therefore, the purpose of my today talk in the beginning is to make sure that all of you understand this. What is learning? How do we do the Bloom taxonomy? How do we write CO? How do we attain the CO? That is why that is very extremely important. A final examination, unfortunately, you are affiliated college. It is with AKU. You don't know. You may not be able. Suppose if you are an autonomous, you can for 100 marks, you can set with the same thing. But today, you are not in that position because you are affiliated to Aryabhatta Knowledge. So when a committee comes for accreditation, your internal, what you do, continuous evaluation only you can show. Okay. Final exam result you can show. That's all. But the result will not know which CO, which mapping cannot be done. Now, whatever I said for so far is theory, you do all these things. But there are places like project. Project cannot be evaluated like the way I said. So therefore, you should have a rubrics. So I'm going to explain to you next 5 minutes what is the main. Rubrics is also an assessment tool like test, quiz, and assessment. So therefore, what I am trying to say is, let us say you take a project as an example. The project, let us say I write down 10 future or 10 parameters. I will keep 5 marks each, 50 marks. Now, that is only a scheme. I must tell student in the first one, problem definition, I will put 5. When do you get 5? When do you get 4? When do you get 3? When do you get 2? When do you get 1? That is called rubrics. Otherwise, student will not know this teacher gives whomever he likes 5, whomever he likes 1. So that I will illustrate. So therefore, now you can see there is a difference between a scheme and rubric. In a theory paper, 10 mark, you write a scheme. If he writes this, I will give 2 marks. If he writes this something else, 3 marks. That is called scheme. What everybody is doing, project also is scheme. 100 marks, 50 for internal evaluation, 50 for our external evaluation, presentation 10 marks. You don't say, when do I get 10? So that is the beauty. So therefore, each of these rubrics have to have 5 plus, 5 level, excellent, very good, good, fair, and poor. And students should know I am getting 1 because I have not done well. That is called the important. So I will illustrate this with one example. All projects will have some components like this. Problem definition, bound to be there in any project. Literature survey, otherwise they cannot do anything in the project. Methodology, they have to define. There is some design, some testing, presentation, technical writing, teamwork, ethical and society, you can bring in environmental. If some project, if it is not there, you don't have to add. So therefore, all the teachers in the department should sit 60 students, 4 students each, 15 project. Suppose 10 project will come under this. Another 5 maybe there may not be any design. You have to write down the rubrics for that. So a rubric is written for a project by the group of faculty. I will illustrate, and again in problem definition, each one you have to write a rubric. In the beginning it takes time, but subsequent year it is very easy for all of you. So the example again, I take a data structure. First parameter is problem definition, right? So problem definition, I will give 5 marks. I call it as excellent when it is implemented for most appropriate data structure with accurate and optimized logic. And the student will get 4 marks when he implements the right data structure with correct logic, but it is not optimized or accurate. The third one is he implements the working data structure with correct logic, but again, it is not a very sound one. And like this, you should tell. And second example is when they write some algorithm, they have to test it. So therefore, how do you know the algorithm is right? If the student algorithm is valid for all the cases, you give 5 out of 5. If the algorithm works for about 70-80%, give them 4 marks. If they doesn't work, give 1 mark because he attempted and then. So the beauty of this, last one is report. Report writing, everything is good, it is in order, good reference, this format is good, give 5 marks. You reduce 4 marks if something is missing. So this is the beauty of writing the rubrics. This rubrics, all of you should write for the project, internship, seminar. That is where 10 marks, 2 marks for presentation, 2 for asking questions. You write, no? If you write where he gets the full mark, you should do. So that is the beauty of it. So that's why I wanted to illustrate with you. So now, so far, what I said is about good learning, good assessment, and attainment. Now, rubrics. Now, let me tell you. So this Bloom taxonomy, if you want to set a question paper remembering multiple choice, true, false, matching, fill up the blank, short answer will do. If you go to the understanding level, then you have to go to simulation, animation, tutorial classes, problem you have to give. You apply, in addition to these, from case studies and so on. So analyze, evaluate, and create the 4th and 5th and 6th of Bloom, you have to virtual lab, case studies, paper, presentation. So this is the way, beauty of a question paper setting depending upon the Bloom level. Test 1, simple, because lower 1, lower Bloom. And when you go higher and higher, so in essence, what I told so far is there is a vision, there is a mission. This is all achieved through POs, POs, and PSOs, and COs. So therefore, the course, theory, practical, seminar, project is a bigger cone. All of them finally should lead to the vision. This is what we call it as mapping. Your course that you teach, the course outcome that you write, with the assessment, you should map how much you have achieved in PO, which PO you have achieved. One course will not achieve all the 12 POs, isn't it? So therefore, my course may be on design, some engineering knowledge will be there, design will be there, some cost estimate I will do, therefore there will be some P11. So therefore, 2, 3, 4 will be there generally. And if I'm teaching a subject 3-4 years, I can improve these 3 to 4. Another I can introduce, like a data structure communication he has introduced. So that is the beauty of. So either two, I told you the basic concept of outcome-based education. Now, Einstein always says, I never try to teach my student anything. I only try to create an environment where they learn. That is what all of you have to do at Bhagal. Okay. So now, whatever I said, a teacher, I classify them into 5 different types of teachers. A mediocre teacher tells, he reads, go vomit in the class next day. He doesn't know beyond that. The second is good teacher. He explains. That is important. The third category of the teacher is a perfect teacher demonstrates. Not only tells, not only explains, we should demonstrate. That is engineering. Now, a gifted teacher like all of you in Bhagalpur inspires the student. And I'm sure that the 5th one, all of you are a modern teacher who facilitates. So at the end of my talk today, I want to see all of you to belong to the group 4 and group 5. I know Sumit is smiling. I'm very happy about it. Now this is an old teacher. The students are crow, monkey, penguin, elephant, and so on. So he gives one assignment, 5 marks. He says, my dear students, all of you go and climb the tree behind you. The monkey and crow will go. The rubric says they go to the top of the tree, they get 5 out of 5. The elephant says, I cannot climb, you will get only 1 mark. So this is the beauty of assessment. That's why I just showed you this slide. Assessment is same for all the students, you can't differentiate. Now, so therefore, you can see after pandemic, there will be a huge paradigm shift. Written exams will go, coursework will come. later, next 2-3 years after new education policy. Tutor-led assessment will become student-led assessment. Implicit all will become explicit. Competitions will become collaboration. Product assessment is broader, it becomes process assessment. Objectives are broader, it will become outcome. Content will become competencies. Course assessment becomes modular assessment. Advanced level becomes assess prior learning. So all of us should get ready to the right one. We have to shift from conventional to the new one after pandemic. So therefore, innovative teaching means what? Problem solving, open discussion with the in the tutorial, then acquaintance with the real-time case studies you have to take, cooperative learning, project-based learning, and student presentation, seminars, etc., etc. These are the ingredients of a good innovative teaching. Okay. So for want of time, I just skip 1 or 2 slides. I will go. Education should give knowledge, but knowledge alone will not help. After education, they should have 4 qualities: knowledge, know-how, wisdom, character. What is knowledge? Understand the basic principle and formal normal education, which everybody does. But what you should make your student is know how to do things rightly. That is important. You have to train them. Next is wisdom, to set the priority in work. What is the priority? That is important. You have 100 work. Which one to take first one? Which is more priority? All those they should be able to decide when they go for a job. Now, character, to make trustworthy and respectable member. Self-esteem. I'm an engineer. I'm a graduate of Bhagalpur. I'm working here. That is what we all should. So some of these slides I will show, but again, the rest I will cover anyway. So therefore, now there is a huge shift in online. Today all of you are doing online teaching. There's online teaching, blended learning, assessment, and flipped classroom, split classroom. We don't know. Government may say out of 60 students, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 30 students can come. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, another 30 should come. Other days, they should read at home. So this is what I call it a split classroom. So you have to be ready for all these things. So finally, what are the innovative pedagogy that all of you can adopt? One is critical thinking. We must make sure students to think critically. Second, problem solving. Third, reasoning. Fourth, creativity. Fifth, imagination, innovation, entrepreneurship. They are all of the order of the day. So therefore, you must, while teaching, see that student acquire all these good qualities. So therefore, today, I told you education 4.0 is innovative teaching. Now there is an industry 4.0. So therefore, the 9th trend which is going to be there for all of you in future is diverse time, diverse place. We are in diverse place. I'm in Bangalore. You are there in your place. So people can hear wherever they are. Somebody can give a talk from USA. That is diverse place, time. Their morning, ours is evening. So this is going to be the order of the day in future. Personalized learning. You must find out who is a fast learner, slow learner, and then remedial class. All those things is going to be there. Free choice to the student, not to the faculty. That is will take time, in some more time. Project based, all of you can implement. Field experience, internship, and all that is already there. Data interpretation, case studies you take and then make them how to interpret the data. The exam definitely will going to change. Student ownership is important. Mentoring will become more important. You have to talk to them. Don't worry, nothing. You learn whatever. When you come back, you get clear. You talk to your 15 students and make them comfortable. They are already trouble. They don't have textbook. They don't have anything at home. They don't have. Therefore, please help them. That is extremely. So this is a network where I am not. What I do is I am going to send this file to Sumit, and I'm giving this so that Sumit can give all this slide to everybody. So that that. So you can see, just to save time, I will pass it on. Okay. So the ACT platform, all of you know, there is a platform called Arpit. In our days, we used to go in a train to Delhi, 3 weeks summer school, winter school, and learn. Now today you can be there at home and learn. You are listening to me. So Harpit is an annual refresher program. In the domain, you find out whatever the course that you want to learn through Swayam, through Arpit, through Atal. Atal also is another platform where they want to bring industry to make virtual labs so that they are available to your student in next 1 year, 2 years. Government of India is trying that. Swayam is there, Smart India is there, Margadarshak. So many platforms are there where you can. What is important either to what I spoke is about theory. Now you know that students are not coming to, are they coming? I don't know. If they come late. So virtual labs are there created by IIT, www.vlab.com. All of you encourage yourself and student to go to VLab of civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical, computer science. So what you do in your syllabus, whatever the experiment, you map with that and ask the student to go through this virtual platform for next 1 or 2 months. And when they come back, they can do the first one. This is what we call it as a blended mode. And therefore, these are all wonderful. I'm sure that most of you must have done. So therefore, now let me talk about the technology for 5-10 minutes. So first equation that I always like, but though mathematically it is not correct. IT plus IT equal to IT. If you write, mathematicians give 0 marks. What I mean by IT plus IT equal to IT is following. Information technology yesterday plus information technology today equal to information technology tomorrow. That is what the meaning of IT plus IT equal to IT. So we are in 2000 information technology. Later we went to biotechnology, then geotechnology, geoinformatics, bioinformatics. So much is there in engineering interdisciplinary. So today research is tomorrow's technology. Whatever the research that we do. Yeah, and therefore technology is important. Country like ours, we have agriculture, we have health, we have infrastructure, we have climate. I must advise you at this point, please give a project across the department. Two civil people can do with electronics and do some project. Computer science people can join with electrical. Interdisciplinary, mechatronics, this area, I think you should give project to the students. Then technology, as you all of you know, I am listing only 8, 9, there are many more. Artificial intelligence, IoT. I will explain them in next 2-3 minutes, very, very briefly. IoT, Internet of Things, robotics, cyber security, data science, quantum computing, 3D printing, blockchain, augmented virtual reality. They are all the technology across. You cannot say I am from civil, mechanical, electrical, computer. Everybody has to come together if at all, if they want to achieve it. I am going to talk about 2-3 minutes about this technology. Artificial intelligence, as all of you know, across the boundary. There is no boundary for that. People from mechanical, people from electronics, people from computer, medical, everyone can. AI is used in education for what? AI can be used for proctor system in conducting the exam. AI is being used for personalized teaching. Each student, how is it doing can be through AI platform, we can make them learn. AI is used in medicine for diagnosis. AI is used in medicine for cure. You diagnose the thing and also for injecting. The AI is also used for surgery today in other countries. So AI is going to be for 10-15 years. I'm sure that you try to make students to work in these areas. Small project. And genetic testing, may not be so appropriate to you. 3D printing is very important. 3D printing is nothing but additive manufacturing, product design. People are now doing 3D printing of our own body where they can go to the minute of minute, micromanagement. So 3D printing area is a very, very additive manufacturing. Augmented virtual reality, you can perform the experiment in the real world, not virtual. That's why AR and VR are very, very important. So computer science people, IT people, electronics can come. Autonomous vehicle, driverless is difficult in India, unlike America. But what you can do is electric vehicle will come next 5, 10, 15 years. People can work on hybrid, electric and motor with this. Hyperloop, for Europe, they are doing. They want to go from Patna to Delhi in only 15 minutes. That is possible through this Hyperloop. In the Europe, they are going in 6 hours of one country to another in 20 minutes. They are planning in next 3 to 5 years, where underground you can go with a very high speed, very, very high speed. Smart city, plenty of opportunity. India, 100 cities have been identified. You need people, civil, communication, electronics people, IT people, computers. So there is a huge opportunity in the smart city project. Blockchain management, all e-commerce. Today every transaction happens in the digital world. So therefore, these are the technologies in which try to give some project to do this. So therefore, future India is great. Made in India earlier, you make something, put a made in India and put it. Those days have gone. Now, make in India. New foreign investment, money will come, Job is ours, product is ours, we sell it to others, we make money, give some profit to the investor. So therefore that all have to participate. Digital India. Today, everything is digital infrastructure they are creating. Each citizen, everybody, now they don't know how to live without mobile. E-governance, e-commerce, and every citizen is empowered. Online classes they want to think of even for healthcare. So therefore, whatever I said last 1 hour, if you want to achieve any of these things in the paradigm, to sum up, learning is going to be competitive, blended mode, online. Every one of us have to change their mind. You have to use technology. You have to set good question paper, good lab, new experiment. If you want to achieve these, we need to work together, collaborate with each other, tolerate the differences, respect diverse views, because none of us as individual is as smart as our Bhagalpur College of Engineering faculty. So therefore, I request all of you to work in a team. Whatever you do as a team, we can achieve a lot. So I would like to stop here and would like to thank for the opportunity that given to me by to Professor Nirmal Kumar, Sumit, who has really handled this right from day 1 to day 5, and now it is open for discussion for for 5 minutes. Any one of you want to ask question, please unmute and then do ask the question.
Yes,
Yeah,
any
Sumit,
question from
yeah.
students and yes. Yes, unmute yourself and ask question directly.
Sir C.V. Raman used to say after the class, please do ask question. No student used to ask any question. He says, if you understood everything, there will not be questions. Or if you have not understood anything at all, there will not be any question. But as a teacher, he was telling, I take it that all of you have understood whatever I spoke. Now, asking questions is a good habit. Please do ask any concern, question, suggestion. Was it good, Sumit?
But it was
Oh,
excellent,
yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Yes.
That at least you can give comments, no? Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Um, in fact, I could listen, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Tell me, Dr. Shashank
Yes.
Shekhar. Yeah, tell me. I
Yes,
am
sir.
seeing you.
Yes, sir.
I'm seeing you.
I could listen to your lecture, which
Yeah.
included, in fact, the different dimensions of the paradigm shift that teaching learning process has taken up after COVID.
Correct.
Uh,
Correct.
because, somehow that I have a feeling that the growth of education cannot be stopped. And when
Absolutely.
COVID came,
Absolutely.
all of a sudden it appeared that everything has come to a grinding halt. But
Correct.
human kind has a better adaptability,
Correct.
and it found out ways how to make teaching learning process progressive. And that's why, well, we have digital mode of teaching learning process. And
Very
most of the teachers and students together, they are yet to adapt themselves to this teaching learning process. Even we old fogies teaching through digital mode,
conventional chalkboard,
we are yet
chalkboard.
to we are
Yeah.
yet to acquire, we are yet to become very, very friendly with this
Correct.
mode of teaching learning process. And
True.
as
True.
you have
True.
in fact discussed the different dimensions, really it was a kind of it had a sensitizing influence on the students as well as teachers. Let's hope in fact all these teachers, they rise to the newer method of teaching learning process, and in the days to come we all would try to become far more innovative, because everything is there. When you talk about Bloom's taxonomy, the last stage is that of innovation and creativity. So let's
Correct.
try
Correct.
to in fact develop from where we were